just gonna let me see this?
Hello, everyone out there in the
Hello. That's so
Streamlands.
cool.
How is everyone this evening? We are good. In particular, we are live from the apocalypse. We are a
Mhm.
not-for-profit TTRPG studio that raises money for charities and other nonprofits through our programming. Right now, we are raising money for Medical Aid for Palestinians. Um, Organization doing a lot of very good work in the Gaza Strip right now. Because in the midst of all of the things that could be happening on planet Earth, that is still happening right now. And you might notice that it is in not in American freedom dollars. It is in fact in British monarchy pounds. Um, but that is fine. You are still able to donate using the donate button that we have replaced the subscribe button with. So if you do like what you are seeing, and we always sincerely hope that you do, that you, rather than giving that money to us in the form of blips and chits and corporate scripts and Jeffy bucks and all of those sundries, that instead you take that money and you donate it directly to the causes that we are raising money for. We do have a couple of incentives for this particular stream. A $5 donation will give the team momentum. They like momentum. Momentum helps them. A $5 donation will also give me threat that you would be my friend. I would consider you a true and personal friend. You can also spend $5 to name a red shirt. And as I said in my advertising for this session, I have yet to kill a single red shirt that has been named by donation. Yours could be the first. As of yet, there is no red shirt blood on my hands. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for our cast. And why don't we have them introduce themselves right now, starting with the one who hates Ensign Binks the most of anyone in the world, Cass.
I would like the record to show yet again this week that Ensign Binks is still alive. Ensign Binks is still employed, and I offered Ensign Binks up for promotion because I had to stun him. It was not his fault. He was being mind controlled.
Oh, speaking of Ensign Binks.
Anyway, hi, my name is Cass. I am playing Lieutenant Commander. Why did I just forget my own name? Vimes Tassam. I am the Romulan head of security for this ship, the old Gal. I made someone sad last game.
You did?
I'm pretty sure Bard's gonna tell me to go apologize.
Feelings were hurt.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of your XO.
Hi, I'm Juliet. Tonight I'm going to be playing First Officer Nico Bard. They are ready to find out what exactly is cutting shore leave so short. It appears to have something to do with the Klingons, and we hate to see conflict. We hate to see conflict during shore leave.
We hate it, precious.
We hate it. We hate it.
And speaking of shore leave, the officer who was there in spirit, if not in person.
Yes, hello. I am Rouge, and I am playing Science Officer Lieutenant Commander Soserine, who was so engrossed with her explorations of the flora and fauna of the planet during shore leave that she was not seen or heard from by a single other person the whole time they were there, and has no idea what anybody else got up to or really anything. So she's I'm gonna be very method about this whole every time Sosa Reed has to ask questions about what other people were doing during their shore leave. Hopefully my computer doesn't fuck me over tonight.
We all hope that as we were talking about going into stream, I and so like fully like 3/4 of our cast right now is dealing with like severe thunderstorms in our area. So yeah, we will see whether or not that cooperates as far as like power and internet remaining in place for all parties involved. Um, but in the meantime, we are here and we are streaming. And I am Brendan. Hi, everybody. I am going to be playing essentially everyone else, every other sentient being in this entire galaxy is me. And I'm not gonna lie, it's exhausting. So, speaking of, we open with a freighter flying through space. It has a swept back, semi-circular shape to it. Ferengi in design. When suddenly, without warning, there is an explosion. They are under fire from an assailant. The ship accelerates, but their pursuer keeps pace, hailing them with assaults. Eventually, their shields collapse. They attempt to return fire, but their shots go wild. They attempt to establish contact with their attackers, asking them, why are they doing this? Asking for any quarter, surrendering themselves, telling them they have latinum, they have goods, they'll give them everything, just please spare their lives. And after a long moment, the ship explodes, destroyed by disruptor fire. And through the flame and the wreckage, expanding outward into the infinite blackness of space, the sleek shape of a Klingon bird of prey coasts out into the night. But that is not where we are. Right now, we are aboard the USS Gallant, which has been unexpectedly called away from shore leave to assist with an urgently needed shipment of humanitarian aid to the Moringa 4 colony in Klingon space. Still, there is a certain tension aboard, not just because everyone was looking forward to at least a few more days of R&R before heading back to duty, but because there are rumors that this is not the Gallant's entire mission. Just going through, how is everybody adjusting? What is everybody getting up to on the Gallant right now?
I have to know if both Sosa and Nico are chastising me for making Brannigan sad and trying to get me to go apologize. I have to know if that's happening.
I don't think Nico chastises. I think Nico plays mind games. And is never going to outright say that you should or shouldn't do something. But is going to talk a lot about, like, morale and unity and the security on the ship, and it's everyone's safer when everyone trusts each other. You know? You don't have to agree with them, you don't have to get along with them, but you know, you need to be able to trust them if something goes wrong. And trust that they'll trust you.
I trust Brannigan.
Wait, is there a reason we shouldn't trust Brannigan?
No, Brannigan didn't do anything wrong. He, you know, just runs a really intense volleyball tournament.
Oh, okay. Is that what happened while I was doing other stuff?
Yeah, what were you doing, Sosa?
I was engaging in scientific exploration.
Were you digging in the dirt?
The most relaxing hobby of all.
Were you digging in the dirt for samples?
For some of it.
As long as you are happy.
I had a great time.
Those worms are not going to catalog themselves.
I mean...
Okay, fine. Sosa wasn't there. I'm going to just straight up ask Sosa. Sosa, what if I said something to Brannigan that I did not consider to be as harsh as it appears to have come off? Do you think I should go apologize for my words?
This comes during the time in the volleyball tournament when what should have been said is a good game.
Oh, it was after the game was over and you said something shitty? Then maybe you should apologize. As much as I hate to think of anyone apologizing to Brannigan, that is, like, pretty poor form. I'm not gonna lie. Are there any extenuating circumstances that would make it okay? Like, I'm ready to agree with you that fuck Brannigan, but I need something. I need something here.
I believe I told him that I would like him better if he didn't put on the personality he does.
Yeah, that's something like what you said. Yeah.
It's close. I think it was
Harsher from you.
I think it was a little
Thank
bit
you.
I think it was a little bit more along the lines of, like,
Oh God, Julia wrote it down.
I believe what you specifically said, that you would respect him more.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm trying to see how Nico would rephrase it, but, like, respect was thrown in there. You would respect him at his job.
Oh yeah.
If he took, you would respect him at his job more if he took it as seriously as he took playing volleyball with his
now
team.
you're just making a hostile work environment. I think you have to apologize.
And Sosa, him and his team, they have like a little chant. They have a little cheer. They're so
they were practicing on the holodeck before.
And then Vime said she doesn't respect him to his face instead of good gaming him.
I didn't say I didn't respect him. I said I would respect him more. I'm going to apologize.
Well, that's fine then.
Just walks off like, okay, fine.
Oh,
Oh,
I heard
hold up.
Brendan, but now Brendan's frozen.
Wait,
Oh no,
hang on.
I can hear Brendan.
Hold
He's
up.
just frozen.
Wait, what occurs?
It's a good frame to freeze on, I have to say.
Okay, here we go. All right, there we go.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I'm fine. Before I submit my report to the captain about whatever we're walking into, I will go apologize to Brannigan.
I think it'll go a long way.
The captain has not been specific with you, but he has had you analyzing a lot of Klingon Defense Force attack patterns.
Okay. Well, that's what. Yeah, I will meander that way. I'm not moving at speed. So if anybody else wants to say what they're doing.
Okay, I'm going to apologize. I'm going to do it like really slow.
I think Nico's just been spending a lot more time on the bridge. Just trying to keep busy and support the captain, and also trying not to think about like that really awkward hey, not to cut this short, but I need your help conversation with Barot that's just like looming there as we travel into Klingon occupied space.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to that conversation.
Yeah, but I figured we would, but just like for context, that is what I'm thinking about. It's just like, And
I think that is very fair under the circumstances. I'm gonna pivot over to Sosa. What is Sosa getting into?
Sosa is cataloging and whatnot, all of the samples that she took during her leave.
Sick.
And is thinking of what cool experiments she could do based on her findings.
And I think you get a ping from Lieutenant Commander Shannara from Medical, asking for your assistance from a xenobiological perspective.
Sure, I'll be right down. And she's gonna wrap up what she's in the middle of and head to medbay.
And I mean, you are somewhat chagrined to find in Shannara's office. The Shannara is working on her console, but the EMH is also like kind of like leaning over the chair, like looking at it with her, like very chummily as they discuss the contents.
EMH are supposed to be for emergencies only. They're not supposed to just get to be like out and about during normal medical whatever.
Always pleasant to see you as well, Commander Reen.
You don't actually have feelings. It's just a program that you are whatever. We don't need to get into that right now. Why am I here in the first place?
Doctor, and Shannara will beckon you over. So we're delivering humanitarian aid to the Maranga 4 colony. And from what I am given to understand, there is a plague going on currently. The colony has been quarantined, at least as far as Klingons go, for the past several months. As it seems as though this disease is flaring up in spots around Klingon space. seems like they're trying to get ahead of it, but it keeps appearing, infecting new worlds. Now, again, the quarantine only applies to Klingons, as it seems as though only Klingons are able to get the disease. But I'm concerned about this sequence here. I'm just curious if, with your xenobiological background, particularly in the area of like comparative genomics, that you might be able to tell me if I'm crazy.
N- No, I think making efforts to study the disease if possible ahead of contact with it would be ideal.
Yep. Was anyone else able to hear Jen?
I can, but she's very faint.
Very, very faint.
No, I think studying the disease if possible before contact would make perfect sense. Mm,
Okay. In that case, go ahead and I look at character sheets here. Remind myself how this friggin' system works. Go ahead and give me an insight science.
I'm gonna ask a dumb question.
Mm-hmm.
What dice do we roll in this system?
20s.
Again?
Yeah, D20s for the most part. In nearly all circumstances, a D20. Very rarely a D6.
And 2 of them.
Yeah, no.
I'm ill prepared. I blame capitalism.
As you should.
Yeah.
That is
I think
why
it is perfectly justified.
that is why we got rid of it in the 25th century.
And I want to roll low in this system.
Yep.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because I want to roll under. And I'm sorry, what was the combo that you gave me for this roll?
Insight science.
Okay, well, they're both under, so 2 successes anyway. So
Very cool.
because I'm just that good at sciencing. Not medical, but science.
Correct.
Mhm,
This is actually what you're here for.
Yeah, this is a little
the
bit
point.
this is medically related, but it's definitely more in your wheelhouse. You're
Exactly. That's how I end up being used as a medical doctor, is that
Yeah.
I have a science background that is tangentially related to medicine.
Yeah.
And then it's the equivalent of having a vet on board, and they're like, "You can practice medicine, right? It's the same thing."
You can do stitches.
I can, but I shouldn't.
And you can understand why Shannara would have asked a second opinion here, because it's very odd. Now you are not super duper familiar with like Klingon genetic structure. Like you've seen it certainly, but like you don't, it's not like your PhD thesis or anything. And you are looking at the gene structures that are seemingly being attacked by this pathogen. And the thing that really pops out at you is that while these are Klingon gene structures, you can see the surrounding code. The specific targeted structures don't really look like the surrounding ones. They look oddly human.
I'm sorry, the Klingon structure that's being targeted looks human?
The specific genes, the specific gene structures that are being targeted within like Klingon physiology, they look very human.
and not in the classic Star Trek thing that they touch on in some episodes and then act like they've completely forgotten again in other episodes, where supposedly all humanoids in Star Trek are all descended from the same alien that seeded the entire galaxy kind of
So funnily enough,
thing.
so I've not seen it, but apparently the entire last season of Star Trek Discovery was literally just about that plot line.
Okay, because they touch on that in like an episode of
Yeah.
Next Gen, and then it's like never discussed again, I want to
Yes.
say.
No, yeah. So apparently, I've not seen it, but apparently the last season of Star Trek Discovery, like the whole season, is
I didn't give up with
literally just.
Discovery.
I gave up too. But apparently, yeah, the entire last season of that show is like literally just like, hey, remember that plot point that we introduced that one episode of TNG and just completely fucking forgot about? What if we built an entire season around that? But that is not what this is. No, this is like beyond the commonalities that generally seem to be shared among the vast majority of humanoid races in this galaxy. Like, these stick out to you as being like sequences that seem to be found almost exclusively in humans. Like, and it's sort of like the equivalent of like looking at like a picture where like things are just like suddenly like shaped differently. Like, it's a sculpture where everything is all angles and then suddenly there's just some random spheres in there.
Weird. And this is what it looks like after having been hit, or this is
this is specifically what
do I get the sense that this is like essentially an effect that the disease has caused, or it is specifically being targeted by the disease that it was already there ahead of time?
So you get this, it is already there ahead of time and it is being targeted by the disease. Yes, it is. Yes, it is already there ahead of time and is being targeted by the disease. However, interesting that you should mention that.
My next question is going to be, have any humans been near this yet then?
So
How
I'm gonna put aside.
Ethically dubious would it be for me to summon the closest human red shirt and just like streak some of this on their like face and see what happens? Pretty ethically dubious, right?
Pretty ethically dubious. But Binks is not human. Binks is Catian. Binks and Chester. Binks and Chester are both Catians. We've established.
I forget.
But
I would never hurt such a good boy. Stop it.
So I'm gonna
pin random red shirt human, they're up for grabs. That's just
obviously. So I'm gonna put
somewhere in the Jeffries tube, Nyko is like, something's happening.
So I'm gonna put a pin
human
in
rights violations are happening on my ship. I know it.
Just wait a fucking second. Sosa's being too quiet. Wait a minute.
The fact that Nyko has that built in and knows what that feeling is just really goes to show you the kind of ship that we're running here.
So I'm gonna put a pin in one thing that you had said there, but we're gonna come back to it. We're gonna come back to that. So in this moment, Shannara looks over you and is like, "Okay, so I think you're seeing what I'm seeing, right?"
I'm seeing some very confusing readings about the genetic makeup of the samples, but then also some very concerning possible conclusions that I would draw about how this would affect our human.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Crew members?
That is, that's probably what I'm concerned about, is that whether or not there is the possibility for cross-infection with our specifically human crew members. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just completely jumping at shadows there. So let me see what I can do as far as determining greater risk factors there. I'll see if I can do some tissue samples in an isolated environment. Admittedly, I can run some simulations. I don't have live cultures of the disease to hand, but I can at least run some simulations based on the data
Mm.
that we have. Do you think it's prudent that we limit human exposure to the planet while we're there?
I would agree. Um, one Until we know more, that seems the wisest course of action. We certainly don't want to unwittingly expose anyone that might be
Is,
suffering more deeply or might
is Jen breaking up for anyone else?
Not for
spread it
me.
along to
Oh,
others.
okay.
Can you not hear Jen?
Do we have
Jen is a very very positronic life form right now for me. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, what are we knowing?
Can you
So
hear?
Oh,
in OBS, Jen is frozen.
yeah, in OBS, Jin is frozen. I can hear Jin. Jin is not frozen for me.
Intriguing. All right. Oh well. Nope. Okay. Gone from OBS,
Oh,
and I can
OBS.
Oh
no
no.
and I can no longer hear Jen in Video Ninja.
Wow. Jin is perfectly fine for me.
Okay.
This is a crime.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And
there she goes. Yep.
I've lost Jen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell you
She
what,
dropped.
guys.
She might be refreshing.
Okay, yeah, that is
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a second. See if we're gonna refresh here, and then otherwise might go to a quick fiver, to see if we
Yeah.
can resolve our subspace comm issues.
If we yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I see Jin.
I see.
I
Hello?
see Jin.
hi?
Hi.
So I'm gonna try to just not have the virtual background feature in case that's part of the
Oh, yeah.
culprit.
Fair.
So, but we're still
Yeah.
blurring because the room is
Yeah.
not like background. So hopefully that's better. But okay. I don't know how much you heard when I cut out, but I was asking where things stand on developing either screening tests to check for infection or treatment plans, either that the Federation or the Klingon Empire have developed so far, or where in the process things stand if they have not actually developed those.
So my concern is that at least in Klingon populations, it seems as though there's not been much progress towards a cure. There are treatments that will alleviate some symptoms and that can slow the progress of the disease. But as of right now, it seems as though it is largely incurable.
And ends in death, or
On a long enough time scale, yes.
okay,
Hmm.
okay. And what sort of long enough time scale are we talking here? Years,
Years.
months? Okay.
Years, usually.
How long? How long has this plague existed? Wait a second.
Well, that's a bit unclear. I've been trying to track that down as well. What health authorities exist on Kronos haven't been the most cooperative with me. I can at least find cases going back a decade or so.
No human exposure that we've seen?
Not that I've found. Not to say it doesn't exist, but at least in all the records I've found and the cross references that I've done, it seems to be confined to Klingons.
Hey. Well, guess I'm gonna have to just shut myself up in the lab and do some studying.
Oh, darn.
Oh, darn.
Your least
Just
favorite
the
thing.
worst.
Well, so Reen is retreating to their happy place to get the fire up the instruments and start digging into the literature.
Hell yeah.
Where are you looking?
Well, first up, I'm going to, of course, start investigating Klingon reports, but then also any reports of other civilizations that have interacted at this point with the Klingons, or the like also outsider perspectives on how it is, like if there are any, and like their interactions with the virus, if it's like how much exposure they had that it didn't actually turn into. Klingons have been keeping this so shut down that like no one else is really interacting with the sick Klingons, and like we don't fully know how much it could spread if it was, say, dropped into a different like population center. And then, of course, I'm going to start looking into any study that has been done on the virus symptoms, progression, spread, makeup, specific features on like a molecular level, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm deep diving. So I'm going to start with the more rounded depictions of descriptions from Klingon authorities or outsider travelers, etc., to sort of see like how people are describing it in layman's terms, and then I'll start looking for the more scientific deep dive of like any information I can get that is from a more academic, scientific background.
All right, go ahead and give me a reason science.
Unfortunately, that is 2 failures, which is in those things. Anyway.
Well, let's see. Do we have any momentum in the pool right now?
Yeah, we should. We absolutely should.
We went through a lot of it at the end of the last arc, but I think we still had 1 or 2 left.
Badly, did you guys want to win that?
No. We didn't
Volleyball
use
tournament.
any last
No.
time.
No.
We didn't. No.
No, it was from when we were it was from when we were rescuing the
When you were
government.
rescuing yourselves.
I'm mistaken. I'm going back to my notes from the end of the last arc. And yeah, you used all of it. So you're currently at 0 momentum. However, there are a couple of ways we can do this. Donations will generate momentum, or you could always throw give a brother some thread. You could always give a brother some thread. You can buy momentum with thread.
I am going to give you thread, but I'm also going to donate.
Okay.
I'm gonna double dip on that one.
Okay.
Oh.
Triple threat.
You okay, Jen?
Huh.
Huh.
Won't let me donate. Anyway.
Oh.
We'll figure that out later. But I'm going to give you
Okay.
threat. So what do I get for giving you threat?
No, not threat.
Yeah, well, give me a second. I'm curious now. Okay, so is it gonna? Let me do it. Yeah.
Gotta do a quick maintenance check to make
Yeah,
sure.
I'm just giving we doing this? What? Oh my god, no, don't do that.
Oh my god, no.
Okay, well I guess I'm doing that. Okay, fine.
Hey, let me do it.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it and rip it, baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
And my phone immediately is like, you donated outside of the United States. Like you did a transaction. I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, I did. Don't
Sure
worry about
did.
it.
Sure did, baby.
It's okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
Don't freak out. It's fine.
Because
I get a warning every month for my Patreon
Yeah, Justin,
donations
fucking
too.
Oh,
grip
yeah.
it and rip
Yeah.
it, baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack
Mine
one
was
for the
specifically
big boy.
momentum.
Yes. And you know what? Here, I've my test donation there. I will do that in lieu of Rouge's inexplicable inability to donate.
Okay.
There is now almost as much
I
momentum
went
as
back
threat.
in and it seems to be working now.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
with all of that, there is 3 momentum in the pool. Would you like to spend some of that for additional dice?
Yes.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it and rip
Sick.
it, baby. Slop that down,
Yeah,
dude.
so I will do
Shit, yeah,
additional
dude.
dice.
Crack one for the big boy.
I will also use my species ability.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, wait. So that is if I succeed. So I've got to roll. I get 1 bonus die to roll first. Is how that works, right?
Yeah.
I'm even worse than my last two.
No.
I rolled a 16, a 17, and a 19. I need
Oh,
you to
no.
understand how
Throw the
badly
dice
I
away
just
till your
rolled.
D&D game.
So how many momentum did you waste on that?
1.
1. Okay. Well, you got
Just
3
the
more.
I
one.
only tried 1.
You got 3 more if you want, or you can
All right.
let it ride.
All right, I'll try
Or this could be
one
the
more
story we are
time.
telling.
One
Come on,
more
baby.
time.
Come
Do
on,
it.
baby.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, finally. Okay, it is under. It's not a great
Uh-huh.
roll, but it is under at this point.
We'll take
Alright.
it.
So now my species ability kicks in, which is when you succeed at a task where you purchased 1 or more d20s
Yes.
by spending momentum, you generate 1 bonus momentum for each d20 purchase. So technically, I purchased 2. So I generate 2 bonus momentum. The thing is, it says bonus momentum may not be saved. So I don't actually understand how that
Jen is
works
breaking
as
up for
far as
me again. Is that the
processing.
case for
Like,
anybody else,
if
or is
I
it just me?
Oh, yeah. She
basically just have
froze
to
for me this time. Oh,
use that
back.
bonus momentum now to like uh
No,
you know,
I think there's a
basically
significant delay.
increase
Yeah, there's a
how
delay
good
Yeah.
for sure.
like the thing is like could
Oh,
have
no.
to be saved.
Hold on.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh. Wait. Oh no.
Jen, say
Okay.
something. You look in real time to me now, so you're in real time.
I think.
Sort of.
Maybe.
There was a little blip.
Wait.
No, you're definitely frozen on OBS, but you're back in Video Ninja. Oh, Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're there. You're there.
It seems like you're caught up on this end as well.
Yeah. I think you're good.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, yes, all right. It seems like you're
what I
you're
was
more or less caught up with me as well now. Okay, cool.
saying
Yeah, we didn't get like any of that. So,
Well,
was
uh-oh.
so based on the wording of this, it says bonus. Okay. So, bonus momentum
Mhm.
may not be saved. So, in theory, I can't
Mhm.
put it back in the bank, right? I have to like
I wonder if it's like you have to use it in this
obtain
in this role, or you
information.
have to just use it in this session.
So I think I understand what the question is, but I'm also only getting like every third word from Jen. So
Do we think it's the storm? Was it raining last time too? Last Wednesday when we tried to play for you?
it was not. No.
No.
Oh, it was for Jen.
Oh, it was. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
Blaming it on internet providers.
Oh, okay. I have lost Jen fully in OBS.
Still in here in Video Ninja. That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you freeze every like for a second, and then there's a delay, and then you just catch right back up, and you're fine. Uh-huh.
Because now you're perfect.
I am still actually here. Give me a second. Let me. Okay, talk, Jen. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So when I switch my audio over to Video Ninja, I'm getting it fine.
Yeah.
But it's not coming through OBS. Weird. Cool. Well, tell you what. So what, folks, we're gonna take like a quick fiver. See what we could do about this. And we will hopefully be right back. In like muscular atrophy, neurodegenerative symptoms, and ultimately paralysis leading to the inability to breathe.
cool.
Now, in terms of other points of contact, it takes a while to dig to find that information. Probably why you kind of have these earlier failures, but you're patient. You have the patience of hyperfixation. You are not afraid to really drill in there. You don't really have a lot of cursory luck finding stuff because it seems like the Klingon Empire is not really broadcasting or sharing a lot of information about this illness, even internally, which makes it hard to like cross-reference stuff with like people knowing what this disease even is to look at it. But you figured out enough diagnostic criteria to be like, all right, where am I finding reports of Klingons displaying these anomalous symptoms from sources that are not Klingon? And you do find an account of a Klingon freighter that was found by a Federation starship, responded to a distress call in which apparently the vast majority of the crew and the passengers were afflicted by it in various stages. And unfortunately, the medical teams were not able to really help them very much. They were able to treat the symptoms, able to forestall the progression of the disease for a time, like Shannara was saying. But they weren't able to really like dig into the root cause other than it seemed like it was probably genetic in nature. But interestingly, this Federation starship does appear to have had, like many Federation starships, a pretty sizable contingent of human crew members. And
Mm.
going into the medical records that you can find from that ship, you're not finding any evidence of cross infection.
Weird. I'm clearly going to have to study this more.
So you do at least have those data points. You know what it does, and you know that, at least based on what Shannara was asking, is there potential for cross infection? At least one data point would seem to suggest no.
Suspicious. The science is saying one thing, but actual records of observation is saying another. And that doesn't match. And I don't like it when that kind of stuff doesn't match. And so now I live here now. This is all I'm doing. This is it.
And go ahead and give. Well, so give me double check. What is the mechanical benefit of your symbiote again?
I think it's that I can draw on yeah. I can awaken past hosts' memories up to twice per
I'm losing
adventure.
Jen.
I can declare their expert remains for the rest of the adventure.
So I'm sorry, I kind of lost that too.
Yeah. I lost you for just a second, Jen.
Oh, she stayed through for me.
Hmm.
Yeah. I heard everything,
It's
but I lost
uh,
the camera.
okay. It essentially it's that I can say that I'm like awakening past host memories, and like one of
Mhm.
the most like specific mechanic benefits of that is up to twice an adventure. I can declare that the host had a expertise in a specific subject, and then I gain a focus in
The
that
focused.
subject for
That.
that adventure.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'll tell you what.
So I could
Mhm. So
have, you know, a past host that did something with the Klingons, or it feels like silly to be like, my past host also did medicine
well,
related
I know at least
things.
one of your previous hosts. What is it, Gregan or Grigan?
Good question.
It's just a pronunciation question.
Yeah,
Gregan,
yeah,
if it's
I have
Gregan
to
or
decide.
Grigan.
We're gonna say Grigan.
Gragan Okay.
Grigan.
Was a
Grigan Reen.
biochemist at least. Has some
Yes.
background there.
Yes.
And yeah, if I think something a memory is stirring in you. If you want to use that ability, that from earlier when you were looking at the genetic code, and you were trying to determine if it was something that the human-looking genetic sequences were something that were there previously, or were something that were the result of exposure to the virus. And it's stirring a memory in you. If you would like to make another reason science roll, and you can apply a focus.
And a focus means one
It
extra
means that
die,
you crit
or
easier.
oh, okay. Well, it's not going to crit.
What'd you get on your single
but I
success?
am going to have one success. A 12, and the number
Okay.
to beat was 14. So
Let me double check that. I think double checking what the increased crit threshold is, because it's pretty nice. Okay. To discipline. So you're rolling. So what is your discipline? Your science discipline score? 5. Okay.
5.
Yeah. So it wouldn't, because so it wouldn't give you additional crit, but if you were to get under that number, that would be an automatic crit.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I vaguely recalled it was still like it had to be basically under one of the stats.
Yeah, so to figure out which one.
And it definitely wasn't that.
So we still got the single success with it.
So I got a success.
Yeah.
So there's a little nudge in my squirmy second brain down here. Actually, I guess is where the
you are recalling something from Gragan's studies. Gragan, like you, was a big ol' nerd.
Big ol' nerd.
Just a big ol' nerd. And
but I'm a cool nerd, right? Gragan was like a nerd.
Nerd.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had a book club and drinks with Gragan.
Right, yeah. Well, Gragan was already you considered to be too old to be able to accept a symbiote, except that under the traumatic circumstances of Misra's unfortunate demise in the chaotic situation of the Dominion War, it was necessary to find a host as soon as possible, and Gragan happened to be both a trill and also an expert in many biological areas that meant that he could kind of oversee his own implantation. That worked. But he was also already a late middle-aged man and spent most of his existence with the Reen symbiote as an aged academic. And so he dabbled in a lot of stuff. And one thing that you remember him reading about, one of his brief hyperfixations, was like historical like biological transmissions between cultures and between species. And there is an extant instance of a genetically manipulating virus that has connections to both Klingons and humans. It was an engineered virus.
Of course it was.
It was a virus engineered by scientists in the Klingon Empire to attempt to harness certain genetic traits found in genetically augmented humans to increase their intelligence, increase their strength, increase their agility. This genetic virus had the result of introducing augmented human genetic structures into the Klingon genome. Now, within about a generation or two of this, those particular heritable traits seemed to no longer exist in the population. And indeed, it seems as though even in Klingons that were infected with the virus, those phenotypic changes were not lifelong.
People out here doing mad science
Yeah. Yeah.
should know better. You only do mad science if you're smart enough to pull it off. So,
Know thyself.
So you would suspect that that original genetic virus is likely the origin point for these human-like genetic structures that you are seeing in Klingons that are the target point for this current pathogen.
sorry, run that last bit by me one more time.
Yeah. So
It
you would
didn't
suspect
parse.
that this original genetic virus
Yes.
is likely responsible for introducing to the Klingon genome these human genetic structures
Got
that
it.
are currently being targeted specifically by the pathogen that is causing this plague.
Yes, good. 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 I mean, not good, but good that I was correct.
Yeah, it's pretty great, Yeah.
Which is, not the most important part of this whole discovery, but like, it's just,
It's not important.
not important for me to be able to be like, I did it again, guys.
Well,
That's why I'm first science officer.
And it might be more important even than Soso realizes in this moment, because this is going to be as good a moment as any to pivot over to your first officer. Yeah, so
Oh dear.
Bard has been spending most of their time on the bridge. And when you finally get off duty, you do notice that there is a text message waiting for you on your pad from Barot. You have not yet opened it.
Mhm.
And as you are debating whether or not to do so, you are brought back to that morning on the veranda when Barot asked you for your help. He sits down across from you. I am truly so sorry that this that I have to make this request of you. I truthfully I had considered making this request even before we became involved. In fact, I had somewhat resisted the idea of pursuing a liaison with you out of fear that it might complicate things. Not that I regret anything that has happened. But I fear that I must place you into an awkward position. And I do not want you to think that anything that we have shared has been a result of ulterior motives or manipulation. I would like to conduct a genetic survey of your crew.
You want to No, not. You want to.
You what,
wanna-
mate?
You want to study. You want to study the crew of the Gallant.
Crew of the Gallant, yes. In particular, your human crew members, which would necessarily also include yourself. I can ask for volunteers, however, I have a need of a rather large sample size. And Starfleet, I have found, has the largest number of candidates that fit the criteria that I'm looking for.
Why? Why exactly do you? I think the. Yeah, I think the why. Why?
There is a disease among my people. The Empire has been attempting to keep it quiet, but I fear that they are doing more harm than good by doing so. Many of my students have put themselves into harm's way trying to treat the afflicted. And if I am reading these reports correctly, it seems as though the situation on rank of 4 has deteriorated quickly. And since the authorities on Moranga have officially requested Federation assistance, and the Gallant is at present the nearest ship equipped for such a mission, I suspect that you are going to be involved in this too, sooner rather than later.
You said the Empire's trying to keep this illness a secret.
They are reticent to acknowledge it.
On the one hand, I don't see why. On the one hand, in theory, it wouldn't be a difficult thing to do or to ask to help do medical research. But I worry.
I'm afraid there's more.
Yeah, 'cause I worry about putting Starfleet at odds with the Klingon Empire if this is something they are a lot more protective of than you think they are.
I'm afraid that the difficulties I speak of are less political and more personal, cultural. I am looking for certain genetic markers that are present in a number of human populations, because it seems as though they have a high chance of being able to produce antigens that will help combat this disease. These genetic markers are, from my research, primarily present in those who have either undergone or who are descended from humans who themselves underwent a form of genetic augmentation. And I understand that your species has a rather fraught history with genetic manipulation.
That is in no small part why the vote on Inzurus did not pass, amongst other reasons.
I have no desire to put any member of your crew, you especially, into a position where they feel that they may be compromised. However, I feel that this has the best chance of yielding positive results. This is the data I need. And I don't know any other way to get it. I am certain I could ask for volunteers. However,
You
I
can't ask for
feel as
volunteers with a history of genetic
that
augmentation.
yes,
No one will volunteer. That's
no one,
threatening their career.
precisely, and I would not deceive them as to its purpose. I do not know that ordering such a screening would be any more ethically sound, but you see my problem. You don't have to give me an answer now. I am on my way to Morangafor this afternoon, and I suspect that you will be receiving orders to that effect before the day is out. We will hopefully have an opportunity to speak about this again soon. Until then, he leans in sort of for an affectionate exchange, but sort of hesitates a moment just to kind of see if you're, feeling it or not, given the awkwardness that has just transpired.
It is awkward, but it's also like not personal. Like Michael gets it.
Yeah.
Like
He will lean in and he will give you a somewhat an affectionate but nonetheless reserved kiss. And will say, please be careful.
you too, and your students.
And he pretty much immediately went and started packing, and you saw yourself out. And that is the last that you have communicated prior to this received text message on your pad in your quarters.
I think Naiko does like one solid like lap around the lap around their quarters before they open it.
It is just them asking. I heard reports that the Gallant was in orbit. How are you?
I think I will not communicate our exact landing time over communication. That seems like a bad
over unsecured channels.
Yeah, that seems a bad idea to do, but I will confirm that we are in orbit to the planet, and I think the response will be just a response that they have been busy, but well. And then they will ask what the what the situation is like for them on planet. And then do another lap. After they hit send, they do like another like lap around their quarters.
Mm-hmm. After a time, there is a response. And it just says, I'm glad you are well. Followed by, we're doing our best. And after maybe an uncomfortably long time, followed up by a looking forward to seeing you. Sends an anatomically correct heart emoji.
Yes.
Followed by a, oh no, was that the right one?
That is so genuinely charming and endearing to Nico that they insist that it is exactly the correct one, and that they look forward to seeing them as well.
He responds with a series of multiple anatomically correct heart emojis.
Yes, good. And it's just kind of like, oh.
So what's what's going through Nico's head going into this mission here?
I think what going into the mission, knowing that there are people down there who are sick and that there's this call for aid, but obviously having no idea to the exact scale or chaos of this disease. I think they've just been trying to think of ways that they can get this a screening study pool out without like they said, jeopardizing a bunch of people's careers.
It's a dilemma.
Yeah.
It's a real pickle. And speaking of pickles, Vimes to Sam. You're not in a pickle. I'm just describing Vimes as a pickle.
I am the pickle friend. This is an accurate description.
Yeah. No, I think this makes perfect sense.
What's up?
Yeah. So, well, you were on your way to slow roll, talking to Brannigan. How's that going for you?
I mean, I Vimes' version of slow when it's something she doesn't want to do is like slower than I think anybody would want her to do something, but it's still like, I have shit to do. Let's do this. Like, I'm busy. So, yeah. So I got there within probably about like 15 minutes of talking to them.
And you are outside of Brannigan's quarters, and you are working up the gumption to ring the bell when you get a little chirp on your comm badge asking for senior staff to please report to Captain Selleck's ready room.
Oh, how fast did that door open with Brannigan right there?
You have this thought, and you are just kind of trying. The thought passes through your head. You start turning to try and pivot to like see if maybe you can like power walk down the hallway.
No. I don't think she does. I think she's just like,
No, are you just gonna take it?
Yep. Let's do it.
Because it happens pretty fast. Like it shockingly so. Like that. Like the door opens and Brannigan's power walking. Brannigan power walks everywhere.
Does he power walk right into me?
No, he does not. You're not quite. Okay. You're not like right in front of the door.
Okay.
Like, but he definitely like starts power walking at his paws and sees you. And just pauses for a moment and just says, "Lieutenant Commander, you got the page."
Yes, I was actually coming to speak to you, but now we can walk and talk.
Certainly. Do you have questions about the new flight roster?
No.
And you guys go to the turbo lift, and you were
I'm gonna smack the turbo lift
you are
to pause
thanking
it.
whatever. You actually paused the turbo lift partway up. Very
Yeah.
good. Okay, all right. And Brannigan looks over at you, and it looks actually more to you like he's just like bracing for whatever comes next.
It has been brought to my attention that what I said to you the other day was unnecessarily harsh, and I would like to apologize.
He seemingly kind of like releases a breath he was holding. Your apology is accepted, Lieutenant Commander.
I would like to clarify my intent.
You may proceed to clarify at your leisure.
Do not lack respect for you, Brannigan. You are very good with the crew. You're very good at your job. However, at times you are insufferable. And I feel like you do this on purpose. And I don't know why you would choose to put on such an attitude when you are perfectly acceptable otherwise.
Well, Lieutenant Commander, as I said, apology is accepted, and I suppose I shall endeavor to be acceptable in the future.
No.
Was there anything else?
Yes, Bard has taught me some of your human tone indicators. I do not need you to be acceptable to me, Brannigan. You are. I don't know if we will ever get along. That is fine. We are coworkers. I will never advance in Starfleet. You have the potential to do so. And I do not want you to squander that by being an ass.
Brannigan actually looks a little bit surprised at your admission of the fact that you are basically going to be stuck in rank to the end of your days.
The captain has burned all of his political capital to keep me in commission. Brannigan, don't make him burn any further to advance you.
You see for a moment another kind of like vaguely hurt expression kind of like roll over his face, but he locks it down like pretty much immediately. I appreciate your candor, Lieutenant Commander. I will endeavor to do my very best. I promise you to not make Commander Candor a new nickname around the ship.
That is a good one. I do like that. That may stay just between the two of us.
We'll make it sort of an in thing, like an in thing
Yes.
that's for the two of us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that's progress.
We bonded. This is bonding.
Yes, I think this is bonding. Was there anything else, Commander Candor? I do think the captain is waiting for us.
Smacks the button.
And so the rest of the turbolift ride is actually passed in kind of like stiff, awkward silence, except for like right before the door opens, you kind of hear Brannigan's snicker like, "Your candor, fucking good one, Brannigan."
It's so funny.
Fucking good one, Brannigan.
It was very good. Very good. And so I think we get off the turbo
Yeah.
lift and we're giggling to each other.
Which is like, I think, yeah, you get out and you get into the ready room where I think also Sosa and Bard are, and the other senior staff and the captain, and you and Brannigan are giggling at the same time in each other's presence, seemingly at the same thing.
Uh-huh. The end of the world. Everybody's about to die. And like, I think a giggle, like I'm giggling like an idiot, but like I think a Vimes giggle is just a
Sosa makes a note on her data pad to absolutely test vibes for signs of illness after this meeting.
And
apologies for our tardiness.
Apologies not required, commanders. Please sit. You know, we have been ordered to the Moringa 4 colony to help administer humanitarian aid in the midst of a disease crisis that they are presently experiencing. I know that there are rumors going around regarding potential other orders that we may have received. I am here to confirm those rumors to you, my senior staff. I would like you to make sure that the crew is in a state of readiness. However, I do not want this information to be disseminated widely, if possible. There are reports of rogue elements within the Klingon Defense Forces that have been engaging in piracy and other attacks throughout the sector. And he will bring up a display on screen that sort of shows like a map of known and suspected attacks. And it does seem to suggest to you a pattern that would be putting the Gallant in harm's way. It's definitely like it hasn't hit Moringa yet, but it's all around.
Like potentially originating from Moringa, despite the quarantine.
You don't think so?
Okay.
Yeah. Not that's not your first instinct, at least looking at it.
Okay.
There's definitely a base somewhere out here, but you don't think you don't think the Moringa would be your first guess. This is a politically delicate situation. Our orders are to deal with any interdiction of trade or aid coming to or from Moringa. If these pirates turn out to be members of the Klingon Defense Forces, we will do what we have to do.
Captain, pardon me, what have they been taking?
That has been difficult to pin down. It seems as though they haven't been targeting any particular type of shipment in particular. Usually higher value items. The kind that would require armed guards. Does seem as though freighters that are not obvious targets, that are not themselves armed, have not thus far been attacked, at least according to the reports we've gotten from Starfleet intelligence. That's another part of the reason why I would like some of this information not to leave this room. Some of this is based on intelligence that we have from Starfleet that would potentially indicate a deeper penetration of our surveillance of the Klingon Defense Forces than would be germane for the present state of our alliance with the Klingon Empire.
Brendan, next question. Does it look like they might be protecting the colony from people who might be bringing the virus or who may be brought the virus?
Interesting. Go ahead and give me a insight security.
Can I have reason security?
I'm going to go with insight. Insight's where I'm going to go.
It's just 1 point difference, so I just had to check.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's a 4. I love these dice. I'm not using them for my game on Saturday. 6 and an 8 under 14.
Okay. It's a little hard to tell. However, you being able to pull up on your pad to pull some of the additional information that Celic has made available to you, records of the known attack. Like Celic said, most of the attacks have been against fairly high value targets, but there are some exceptions.
Pause, Brendan. Your audio just got real far away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this better? Okay.
Yes.
I just got to project more into my Mikey phone.
Mikey phone.
Into my Mikey phone. Like Celic said, primarily they've been attacking higher value targets, products, goods that would have a high resale value on the black market. But there are also cases where it appears that they have attacked civilian transports. The reason for this is not entirely clear. Because it seems like while some things have been taken, they usually have not been boarding their targets. They've been destroying them. Even the ones with the high value cargo on board, they've been destroying them and then sweeping up whatever seems to be able to be salvaged from the wreckage. In all these cases, the ships were armed. In the case of the high value targets, it makes some sense because it's high value cargo. In the case of civilian transports, it seems to be just because they are Klingon transports, and nearly all Klingon ships are armed in some way.
Yeah. Okay. Can I invoke my well-informed thing?
Oh, sure. Remind me what that does.
I have contacts everywhere and listen to news and rumors from far and wide. At the start of a scene, I can add a threat to the game master to ask 2 more questions as if I had spent momentum on the obtain information spin.
Okay. Sure.
The answers I receive will be knowledge I've gained from contacts and news and rumors.
Sure. What would you like to ask me?
Okay. Having known for a few days that, like, we're coming out to this quarantined colony, shady shit's going on. I've been asked to track, like, Defense Force patrols and everything. Do I know of any malcontents in the local defense forces who may have taken the quarantine as an opportunity to turn pirate, or who may be taking matters into their own hands, so to speak.
What an interesting question. I'm gonna say yes. And that
Yay.
person will have a name at some point.
That's fine.
Yeah. But I think, yeah, there is at least, I think going through your mental Rolodex of people, there is a Klingon commander that is stationed nearby who was already, to your contact's knowledge, sort of involved in some, like, under the table E4 mafia kind of smuggling. And
okay.
it seems like it would be likely that he's a good candidate for going pirate and using this as an opportunity.
And
like,
even if he isn't, he knows who it is.
Since there's a blockade in place, basically, using blockade interdiction as a cover for piracy. And maybe he's the one doing it, but if he's not, he'll probably at least know more about the people that are.
Next question, because I get two. I think of how to phrase this. Is there a disproportionate focus on material destruction versus destruction of transports? Is one being targeted over the other? Are they taking out potential disease vectors before they take out material?
It's an interesting question, because you don't see, it doesn't seem like they're targeting them. They're going out of their way to target them more than they're targeting material shipping vessels. But if they were only concerned with piracy, why are they destroying these civilian transports at all?
Yeah. Okay.
So the answer, the answer is, doesn't seem like they're going out of their way, but that is still, I guess, is still weird. Like, if they were just pirates, why are there so many civilian transports being targeted?
Yeah. Okay. I will just say to the room at large, Captain, this pattern indicates that this is a Klingon commander that I may have an idea of who it might be, but also that this isn't piracy at all. Not sure what it is, but it isn't piracy. They're not boarding things, and they're risking the destruction of the goods. So.
Well, to what extent, in that case, do you think that affects our tactical situation?
Brannigan, you were just saying you redid the flight rosters?
I did.
Redo them again. We need people who know how to handle themselves in a fight. Everyone who kept the captain alive those 4 times in the training simulation. If you don't mind.
No, not a problem. I was already considering assigning one of them to each watch.
Thank you.
Nico is just like looking at this happening across the table, and is just like, on the one hand, they should feel offended, because that was not a dig at the times that they got the captain killed. However, what's happening here?
Yep. Yeah. I think at one point, like Vimes will feel the stare and just glance up and go, and then go back to like notes on the pad, like.
Captain, while we're on the topic of the colony and the quarantine, I'm aware of some of the medical staff already present on the planet. There's been a request that I think I need to speak to you about regarding potential medical research that the Gallant could assist in.
Is this a request you would prefer to make in private, or should we discuss it with the senior staff?
I think the senior staff's input would be appreciated, at least those who are medically or scientifically inclined. I don't know if it's worth taking up everyone's time, but
In that case, meeting adjourned. Commanders Vimes, Brannigan, Aset, you're dismissed. Commander Shannara and Reen, if you wouldn't mind staying behind. Yep.
How'd you go?
Yeah, vibes, like trying to find an excuse to eavesdrop at the door.
Go hang out with your new buddy.
Ooh.
Go hang out with your new friend.
Look, Nico's already gotten their romantic
interlude.
So we've got to move on to somebody else to start having their rom-com moment.
And now at last it is just you, the captain, Shannara, and Reen in the ready room. Or the conference room, I guess I should say. I always get those two mixed up, the ready room and the conference room.
Ready room might be a little snug.
No, the ready room's the room's kind of snug. This is the conference room.
Okay.
And well, number one.
There's been ongoing attempts at medical research into this plague by Dr. Barat and his school back on Inzurus. And he and some of his students are going to be present on the planet, and there was a request to screen Starfleet members for a possible medical study into this disease.
I see. I feel like that ought to be acceptable. And he kind of glances over at Shannara, and Shannara looks at you and asks the kind of the pointed question. Well, what specifically are we looking for? What's the nature of the research in question? I ask because I've been trying to do some research into this myself, along with Commander Reen, trying to determine if there's any danger of cross-infection with the human contingent of our crew.
It is primarily the human contingent of the crew that would be studied.
I do feel I have a relevant potential breakthrough of where we would perhaps best be suited to focus our efforts. I have reason to believe that it is specifically genetically enhanced human genetics that pose the most risk.
Risk to cross-contamination, or
they are the ones who would be most susceptible due to, it appears, some amount of exposure within the Klingon Empire of some amount of enhanced human genetic scientific endeavor, shall we say? And then, of course, naturally, that would then also cross over into the actual genetically enhanced human population, were they to be exposed.
Exposed is the curious word to use, because the concern is...
I'm so sad Brannigan's not in the room. I was going to make a terrible remark that I'm like, oh, there'll be a Brannigan thing, but Brannigan is not in the room right now.
Fight the urge, fight the demon.
I was like, it's like, no, Selleck wouldn't say that. That's a Brannigan line.
So the risk of exposure is actually twofold in that SOSA. The risk of exposure to the disease and plague itself, but also the risk of exposure to Starfleet High Command.
No?
A genetically modified or not overtly welcome within Starfleet. In fact, it is the primary reason why Dotica was against Anzuris joining Starfleet. And this screening could have benefits for the medical research related to this plague, which I don't have all the details, but from what I understand is devastating.
And if what you are saying is correct, then it would seem to suggest that this population, for lack of a better word, are potentially themselves susceptible to this disease, which could include members of our crew.
Yes, and the thing about this is it could be opening the door to people who have no idea about any kind of genetic augmentation in their family line in the past. And I don't know what the processes of Starfleet would be in that event. I don't know if there's any way that we can shield the results of these screenings from Starfleet.
It is legally complicated. I'm not in the Starfleet Judge Advocate General, but at least from my own remembrance, the precedents are mixed. Well, I'm willing to take recommendations.
I don't think it would be incorrect to state that for the health of the entire crew, if we could scan the entire crew looking for an old Earth phrase that comes to mind is a pre-existing condition, but perhaps we don't have to elaborate on what that is.
Now, the question there is, scanning the entire crew to shield the privacy of this population, while laudable, is potentially not an efficient use of the resources that we have. I am not saying that I am categorically opposed to this, but especially since we are going into a situation where we could be facing infection of members of the crew, logic would dictate that we focus our efforts on those most susceptible first. do you think that it would be reasonable to focus our efforts on the human members of the crew? I ask you this, Commander Bard, as you are the one to be most likely affected by this.
I think if we let people go down onto that planet knowing that maybe some of them could catch this disease, and just taking that gamble with their lives that they don't, is unacceptable if we have the opportunity to find those people first and keep them safe.
So with that in mind, Commanders Shannara, Maureen, how do you think would be best to proceed? Do we scan the entire crew to maintain the charade that we do not know what we are looking for? Or do we proceed with efficiency and risk potentially exposing the problem?
Given that we won't know who in the crew, and the crew themselves may not even know, whether or not there are genetic augmentations in their family tree, I think it best to screen all humans at this stage.
Shannara chimes
And
in.
obviously Klingons as well,
Shannara chimes in.
if we have any Klingons in the Federation at this day and age.
Shannara starts consulting her pad. There are a number of Klingon officers in the fleet, although I believe that we have at least one ensign. I can make sure that they're screened. I think that might be it. So, every human and one Klingon ensign.
We can prioritize screening them, and then with whatever time available, we can then start working through the other members of the crew, just to be thorough, just in case there are in fact other hidden susceptible members of the crew that we haven't come across yet. But I would think the priority would be human and Cleon.
I'll start organizing the checks, and for what it's worth, Nico, I'm sorry. I know that this has put a lot of you in a difficult situation, and I'm sorry, and I will do my very best to handle this as delicately as I can.
I appreciate that. I think for the time being, the most prudent thing to do, should we find any members of the crew who display these genetic markers, is we assume that this is something that they have no knowledge of, no foreknowledge. It would be inappropriate to make assumptions about our crew members.
Agreed. And if nothing else, under Federation law, you are innocent until proven guilty. Was there anything else, number one?
Not at this time, no, except I'm gonna go crawl into the Jeffries tubes and see if I can boost our scanners a little bit to help with some of that pesky old Klingon cloaking technology, if we're potentially going up against well-armed pirates.
I absolutely thought Nico was going to say, I'm going to go climb into a Jeffrey's tube and scream. So the fact that you had an actual plan was...
The screaming was implied.
The screaming will happen
And you have
simultaneously.
You have just about like finished that thought when you hear the red alert go off.
No.
And everyone in the conference room, you get a chirp on your comm badge. Senior staff, this is Brannigan on the bridge. I need everyone on deck immediately. And that is where we are going to end this episode.
Woo!
Oh goodness!
This is fine.
Oh, what a funky little ride we've had here this evening. Interpersonal beats, tech gremlins, all of the above. Guys, thank you everyone for hanging out tonight. Thank you for hanging out in the chat. Thank you everyone who
Yay.
donated this evening. Went to a really good cause, and it replenished the crew's momentum pool. Very sadly depleted. Though honestly, I'm still pretty pleased with this ratio of momentum to threat, and sounds like maybe next session I'll get a chance to use some of it. I don't know.
Oh
we'll find out.
no!
I don't know. Brand, he calls red alerts for basically nothing. It's probably not like a big deal or anything. Probably nothing trying to shoot you up or nothing. It's probably fine.
No, who would do that?
Yeah, that's probably
A whole starship? Who would do that?
basically fine.
Crazy.
Probably. Yeah.
The volleyball game broke out on the bridge.
Hey, Brendan, I'm sorry that I have done this in this campaign because it's like a joke in my home campaigns that I have to know the name of every single NPC. So no, you have to think of a Klingon.
No, that's fine. That's fair. You said I was like, oh, this kind of makes sense that I can use it with this NPC. Then I was like, oh, I need to come up with a fucking Klingon fucking name for them. I can't come up with those on the fly. I need a fucking name generator. So I'm gonna come up with a name for them. And I went to go do the big screens for everybody, but I don't actually have power right now.
Oh
it's me.
shit!
I'm gonna make power. That is not what I wanted.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh god!
I couldn't get back to the right button. Okay, let's see if this is it. Look. This is different labeling. Okay,
We're figuring it.
Nope, this is not it.
No, okay, so
I think
just go to the big and just hit the little eye icon to unhide it.
I did it. I so did it.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Yay!
I pressed buttons well today. I am Cass, better known as Yoda or Yoda Almighty. I was Vimes to Sam tonight, having a totally fine, normal bonding exercise with a new friend. Let's see. Where will you find me? Sunday, I will be over on Tales from the Table Studios for Sundered Skies, our fabulous Ultima campaign. It is episode 2. And then Tuesday, I'll be back over there running my very first campaign over there. This is, we officially have a name now. We are the Knights of Magic and Mystery, and that is Knights with a K. It is a Sentai and Sensibility campaign. Yeah, it's exciting. It's so exciting. There's double tables for that one. Every other Tuesday will be me running a table set in the year 1816. And on following and alternating Fridays will be Grim running the future table set in 1897, dealing with the fallout of whatever my players get up to. Shenanigans are going to ensue. Shenanigans. Yes. And then you can find me back over on Entropy Emporium for God Complex, which Will runs, which is our Girl by Moonlight campaign. And then here on Alternating Wednesday, so in 2 weeks. But Redacted will be back on the 24th. That is the plan. We're gonna get that all finished up. It is exciting. If you didn't see Raph's special episode the other day, go hunt that down in the YouTube channels. Yeah, that's basically my summer. I'm going to see if I can make myself smile and make Julia big.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Hi, I'm Julia. You can find me at Hexbot on all social media platforms. Today I have been First Officer Nyko Bard, just trying to navigate this whole potentially horrifying HIPAA situation, to be so for reals. I will be back Friday for a special little game that we're doing in collaboration with, I believe it's Dots, which is going to be Slug Blasters. I'm just going to be a feral raccoon in a teenager suit. I'm going to be hunting Q for sport, so that'll be fun. And then on Saturday, I will be here for Class Reunion, which is our 5e, our fun little 5e homebrew game. We're stuck in our political arc. We're hoping to finish our political arc. I may have to fight a man in council chambers. It's just probably maybe gonna happen. We'll see. Every other Sunday, I'm here as Lyra Kroll in Academy H. Every other Tuesday, I am here as Evelyn Eve Vey in Sayer House 6. And then every other Thursday, I am here for Never Ember's Enigma, our 5e heist campaign. Remember, ACAB does include Lavinia Hale. That's all for me, folks.
Oh, I guess it's me.
Let's see.
Is it?
We gotta.
Okay. Hello, I'm Rouge. This evening I have been so serene. This is it. This is the only place you can find me these days. Because Veilbreaker's finally finished. You can go find on the LFTA YouTube page, you can find the videos of the entire finished campaign at this point. And this is it. This is all the online that I do. But you can find my socials, I guess, if you want. In various places, I am either Captain Rouge or Pirate Rouge. Stick to a theme, and that's it for me. So, yay!
And what is me? Am I big? Am I big now?
Yeah.
Nice. Hi, everybody. I'm Brendan. I was all the other sentient beings in the galaxy. When I'm not doing that, let's see. Okay, what am I doing right now? Okay, so I am also in Academy H. I play Alex Sandowski, aka Victory. I'm the leader now.
You sure are, bud.
That's fine. No, it's not. I'm the SD for Cryptid Community College, our Monster of the Week actual play podcast that is between seasons right now, but we are posting our finished, fully edited episodes every other week. Rouge is also in that in a totally not cult, very definitely totally not cult. And what else am I doing? What's that? Academy H C3. And then I'm also doing a Dots benefiting game a week from Friday. So next Friday, I will be running Phantom of the Octagon, a worldwide wrestling game about a pay-per-view wrestling match that is going to go horribly wrong. We're doing Phantom of the Opera, but it's pro wrestling. Like that's it. That's the concept. Get in, nerds. Like, let's go. And yeah, that's it. That's what I do. That's my stuff. And am I small? Sick. All right. I guess that's everything for us tonight. I'm probably not going to raid the night just because we've had so many tech gremlins tonight. But our system should hopefully be pretty good for next week. We will have double the tech people, and we will get it figured out one way or the other. Oh, next time on Gallant, we'll probably have a guest star. a guest star from the
Ooh.
LFTA cast is going to be popping in to play a Klingon. It's going to be pretty cool. Tune in, see
Oh shit!
that.
Oh fuck! Oh shit!
Who do we know who might play a Klingon?
I know, crazy. I mean, a lot of people, honestly. But anyway, we are going to be going away. But again, thank you guys so much for everything that you do here, hanging out tonight. Join the Discord if you haven't already.
Yes,
it's a super cool place full of super cool people. And yes, that's everything. So everybody say make it so.
Make it
Make it so.
Now am I gonna press the right button? Let's find out.